Oh, baby, we got another one. This time, the Caucasians and the Asians pretending to be us. And let's get right into it. As you can see here, the black Indian met by the Spaniard in Louisiana, 1543, Cisado's invasion. Up here says New California, ugly blackish Negro, see Van Gogh in Langsdorff. When you go trace Van Gogh, you're going to go chase it back to the Chathi tribe that come from Germany. That's why you have a German president today. They came in from the West Coast. Number 12, the Moon-Eyed Negroes and Albinos destroyed by the Cherokees, as seen in Panama. Among these is the Yura language, 50% allegory with the Guna, 40% with the Ashanti and Fanti of Guinea, and about 33% of the Fola, Boro, Congo languages of Africa. In Asia, it's 39% of numerical infinity with the Samang Negroes, and 40% with the Negroes of Andaman, as well as those of Australia and New Holland. I'll get out the way you screenshot that document. Let's go to these fake Native American Cherokees' exact account of what happened. The Cherokee tell us that when they first arrived in the country which they inhabit, they found it possessed by a certain moon-eyed people. Now they're calling them people instead of who they actually are, which is Negro people, who could not see during the daytime. These wretches they expelled. Now let me show you the exact Cherokee chiefs that expelled the actual indigenous people, and you can clearly see that they're speaking the beginning of the African languages and that they come from here. We know that they're the beginning of the African languages. That's why they said they're 39% and 40%, because if you go to another land, you're going to expound on the language. It shows that that's the beginning of those languages that they speak in Africa. And these are the Caucasian Cherokees that took the land and called themselves indigenous now, them and Asian people. As you can see here in this document, the Caucasians and Asians teamed up to steal the nationality of the so-called Black Americans who are the real indigenous people, as you can see in this document right here. Since the announcement that the government is ready to distribute an enormous fund accrued from the sale of Cherokee lands, right? But we just found out that they stole those lands from the so-called Black Americans. I'm going to get out the way so you can screenshot this document, because these people end up coming back and getting some of their stuff back. And as you can see here, this shows you that these people culturally assimilated the Cherokee's actual name, because what their real name is Sharaki. Tsaraki is the real name of the Cherokee. But the Caucasian people didn't know how to say it or spell it, so they just called themselves Cherokee. I'll get out the way you screenshot that document. Then it goes on to say that they found gold in the area, so they took the land. And as you can see here, this document proves that the Caucasian people, when they found that gold, we wouldn't sell them the land. So what they did is they brought in the Asians, reclassified us to Negro, Black, and Colored, then called them the Native Americans, who are the American Indians, they're trying to say, and then wrote them a language so they would sign the treaties and the land over. And as you can see here, it shows you right here that they sold the real estate, when it shows you right in the same paragraph that the real indigenous people were not allowed to sell the real estate. And you see why we weren't allowed to sell the real estate today, because that's why 60% of California's water is owned by one Caucasian family. And these people have subjugated everyone. They made a way that they could take the Americas. That's what they did. Then they brought these Native Americans, who are really the Red Deer Cave Mongolian people, Chinese, to the Americas, as you can see by this picture, on boats. As you can see here by the zoomed in picture. And as you can see here, Robert W. Young is the one who wrote the Navajo language in the 20th century. So how are they the indigenous people to the Americas when all the languages come from the Americas? And this is Robert W. Young. As you can see here, another Caucasian person trying to help Asians culturally assimilate in the Americas. You brought these people here and naturalized these people in the thousands on the eve of the election for political power. As you can see here in this document, you see, foreign allies have decided the government of the country. Men naturalized in the thousands on the eve of election. That's what these people are here for. They're baked into the states, all these different tribes, and they're the ones who swing the states with their votes. We're sick of you colonizing liars in the Americas. You Asian and Caucasian people need to get off the ancient lands. Your judgment is upon you in the present day.